Welcome to our 14th annual Greyhound Choice Awards ceremony. I'm Kathy McKay, I'm the Renaissance Advisor, along with Mr. Jeff Newman. This awards ceremony, and gosh, Dan Uzaki isn't even here to mess me up, is sponsored by Northern Renaissance. Renaissance is a program here at Northern whose goals is to recognize as many as students and staff members as possible throughout the school year. For students, we have such programs as the Smart Cookie Award, the Renaissance Blue-Gray Levels, and the all-important end-of-year Renaissance Barbecue, and of course, the Greyhound Choice Awards. For staff, we recognize birthdays with our Birthday Brigade. We sponsor a holiday breakfast and an end-of-year barbecue. We also have the Inspirational Teacher Awards, where we have our seniors recognize their favorite teachers from Northern. We have a lot of tears on those days. The Greyhound Choice Award honors students for being themselves. We are here to honor you for being you. Each one of our Greyhound Choice recipients has made their mark here at Northern. They have made somebody's year with their smiles, their determination to grow up, their acts of kindness, and their overall zest for life. They remind us of why we come to school every day. I think my favorite part of Greyhound Choice Awards, besides the actual event, is when the students tried to guess who has nominated them, as I'm looking at Derek, because we've just had so much fun with him. It is a secret, and Mr. Newman and I work really hard to maintain that secret. If we have a little fun with the kids along the way, all the better. I want to take this time to thank some people who have made this night a success. Billy Jobs for our programs. Right now the teachers have the programs, but at the end of the night, you are welcome to take a program or two. We have every speech in that program so that you will be able to take that with you as a memento. Jeff, thank you for working with me. To all the teachers and staff who took time to select a student, write a speech, and be here tonight, it's a testament to your commitment to our students that you are all here. This is a busy time of year for all of us, and I appreciate you taking the time out of your busy schedules for being here tonight. I would also like to recognize a board member who is here tonight, Mrs. Riffle. You're here. Thank you for coming. I understand your daughter is being recognized tonight, am I right? Yes, that's very exciting. Next, I want to apologize in advance for any typos. If you notice a problem on your certificate, please see me, actually see Mr. Newman tomorrow, or see me in the next few days, and we will take care of it. If it's a typo in the program, I'm sorry, I can't do anything about that right now. So now on with our program. Each staff member will come up. The student's name will be called. The student will make their way to the stage as the speech is being read. The student and staff member will then leave the stage. We're going to go right back out here, and we're going to get our picture taken. And at the end of the program, you may pick up a booklet with your speeches. Our first award is presented by Mr. Kevin Patrick.
All right, so my Greyhound Choice Award goes to Kyle Elise. So I once heard that it's not how you start, it is how you finish. I think Kyle would be the first to tell you that when he started high school, he wasn't the most focused student at Northern. But Kyle made a decision to become a better student and a better person, and once he made that decision, he has absolutely excelled. Teachers and administrators have shared with me many positive comments over the last 2 years about his maturity and academic focus. So I'm super proud of Kyle's transformation since he started at Northern, and I wish him all the best in the future. And the next presenter is Mr. Stan Blackburn.
Good evening, everyone. My Greyhound Choice Award belongs to Kiki Calzano. Surprise. The end of the day is not an easy feat for students and teachers alike. The addition of Kiki to my 16-17 English 1 class in late September was a joy, and has continued to be a joy. Every afternoon, Kiki's positive attitude, her task focus, her keen sense of humor radiate good vibes throughout our class, throughout our hallway. She even smiles and laughs at my humorless dry jokes. That takes skill and a good heart, Kiki. Kiki and I share something in common, too. We are known to say good morning to each other at 1:43 p.m. and then burst into spontaneous laughter at our mutual realization that it is well into the afternoon. Thanks for the smiles and laughs, Kiki. The end of my day would not be nearly as pleasant without your smiles and quiet effervescence. There you go. We're going to go this way.
So I promised Kiki some chocolate chip cookies.
Good tab, a picture taken. And the next presenter is Mrs. Catherine Farley.
Hello. My Greyhound Choice Award goes to Miss Avery Flynn. There are no easy jobs around here. We all work hard, face difficulties, and try to make things work out in the end. I had the pleasure this year of being class advisor of the class of 2021. Who were also my freshmen in English 1. Our first homecoming was a daunting task, and I worried all last summer if we could pull it off. It turns out I was blessed with a class president who was well organized, willing to work, and full of ideas that were brilliant. With my class president's contribution and energy, we transformed a forgotten hallway into an underwater world that surprised all the other classes by winning the hall decorating for homecoming. It was, if you didn't see it, magic. When people walked down our hallway, they said, wow. And when another class came up asking for the loan of some supplies, even though it was a competition, and even though the other groups had turned them away, this young lady stood up and gave our supplies to them. It says a lot when you look at a freshman and you're able to say that she shows more grace and maturity than students who are older than she is. As a student, this young lady is one of my best writers. She is insightful and interesting, which is important when you grade 130 benchmark essays. It is a delight to have her in class, to read her writing, and to watch her contribute to class discussions. It is my honor and pleasure to recognize Avery Flynn as my Greyhound's Choice this year. She is going to do great things here at Northern. I'm so happy that I get to see more of her magic over the next few years. For the teachers of upperclassmen, you are in for great things from this young lady. Avery is a hard worker and a shining example to her fellow students. Kids like her make our jobs not just easier, not just better, but bright and optimistic. And the next presenter is Mrs. Kathy Cole.
Hello. My Greyhound Choice Award goes to Jocelyn Jeffries and Olivia Smith. I have had the pleasure of nominating 2 students this year for my Greyhound Choice Award. I was out sick in the beginning of the school year, and when I returned, both of these students were willing to help me at any time that I needed the help. They both work very hard in class and are always willing to help me and the other students. They both have great attitudes. It's for these reasons I'm proud to nominate Jocelyn Jeffries and Olivia Smith for this award. Congratulations to both. And the next presenter is Miss Olivia Maninas.
My Greyhound Choice Award goes to Molly Riffle. I've gotten the opportunity to know Molly when she first entered my classroom at the middle school, and I've had the pleasure of teaching her French ever since. Molly is one of those students who tries to keep a smile on her face and a positive attitude, which makes teaching a pleasant experience for me. Molly is sincere and kind-hearted. She never hesitates to help out another classmate who may be struggling with their work or sit next to that someone who is sitting by themselves. I'm encouraged by Molly for all her hard work she has shown throughout this year and her continued desire to pursue her studies in French this summer in a more authentic setting. I wish you only the best. Congratulations on receiving this award. The next presenter is Mr. Dave Rogers.
My Greyhound Choice Award goes to Diana Serdiakowski. Let me begin by saying that there's a strong chance I just butchered her last name. I apologize. Let me also begin by saying that I have Diana in my first period class. I am by no means a morning person, right? Sorry again. However, this young lady comes into my class every morning first period with a huge smile on her face and a Dunkin' Donuts coffee. Granted, never for me, but it's okay. I'll remember that. She is one of those students who is always paying attention, willing to participate, never complains about any of her work. She is a model student athlete, which says a lot about her character. You have been one of my favorite students to teach this year, and thank you for bringing your positive attitude to my class each and every day. The next presenter is Mr. James Dowd.
My Greyhound Choice Award goes to Ashley Walsh and Emily Walsh. These two girls have been some of my best students this year. They always go above and beyond what is asked of them, and they're actively involved in our video club. In fact, they're filming this event tonight. Their maturity is well beyond their years, but what makes them truly special is their sense of humor and their ability to always find fun in what can be a very tedious and time-consuming process. I look forward to their work over the next 3 years, and I want to thank you girls for your hard work every day this year, and of course for the random pizza bites and mini tacos too. Our next presenter is Mr. Colin Hugo.
It's my privilege to nominate Brian Abrams for Greyhound Choice. I've been fortunate to coach Brian on the football team for the past 2 years, and I look forward to coaching him for the next 2 years. I've also had the privilege of coaching him in lacrosse when he was in middle school and having him as one of our team managers last season for the girls' basketball team. In all my dealings with Brian, he's shown to be a young man of character, intelligence, and talent. He's always displayed the hopefulness that every coach wants for all their players. During basketball season, he was a true jack of all trades, managing the scorebook for multiple levels, recording games, and even having the fortitude to give me some coaching pointers during games. As fine as a young man as Brian is, he's an even finer, as fine as a basketball manager as Brian is, he's an even finer young man. He lives by the creed, if you're not the lead dog, the view never changes. He displays a great attitude in the classroom. The same work ethic that has made him such a good manager and athlete has made him into a budding football talent, a rising star on the lacrosse field. Brian has a competitive grade point average in the classroom and around the school. He's known by his peers as a positive role model for all in Northern Burlington, while still maintaining a polite and humble attitude. Our next presenter is Miss Jessica Volante.
Before Ms. Volante comes up, is Erica Adams here? Not yet. Okay, we'll wait.
So I'm going to move in. So first I have to apologize. I told a lot of students a lie that I didn't select anybody because I'm one of the co-advisors with Miss McKay for Renaissance, and we always tell people we don't pick people because we're too busy. But my Greyhound Choice Award goes to Derek Brown, Joe Campbell, George Andrade, and Justin Dwyer. So these four young gentlemen are members of one of my honors pre-calculus classes, and they sit together in the back of the room, and they've named themselves the BCG, or the Back Corner Gang. I know it's not original, but you know, it is what it is. Normally, when a teacher hears of something like this, a group of young men who assemble together and give themselves a name to refer by, that strikes fear in somebody's heart. And, well, look at them. Are these the class rebels that somebody would dread? Well, actually, these four young men have truly brightened up my class. They have formed a gang, but their endless enthusiasm is only topped by their desire to do exceedingly well in the course. Do they take over the class? Yes. Like today, when they pushed me aside and decided they were going to teach the lesson, which they really knew nothing about. But they did anyway. So they want to teach, they want to do examples, they want to offer answers, they want to try to give hugs. Do they challenge me? Yes, but in a way to become a better teacher. I might actually have to admit that I'm going to miss the Back Corner Gang. No. The next presenter is Mrs. Laura Nadolny.
My Greyhound Choice Award goes to Ravi Arya. Imagine a person who is kind, considerate, hardworking, intelligent, and full of unlimited energy. A person who makes a commitment and always follows through. A person who thinks of others before himself and strives to make the northern world a better place. Rewind to August, before school even started. This individual spent countless hours getting ready for the new school year, setting up the school store, creating a DECA program of work, helping at freshman orientation, and more. Fast forward from September to today, and you would see this individual involved in countless activities, meetings, fundraisers, community service projects, conferences, competitions, running for a state office, marching band, tennis, and so much more. He even took the time to write a blog for the Bridget Books Project, which sincerely impressed the founder and executive director of Bridget Books. Here is one quote that stood out when I read the blog. It shows his ability to praise others, thinking of others before himself. And this is what he wrote. As president of my high school DECA chapter, it inspired me and warmed my heart to see so many of our members stay after school hours and volunteer some of their lunchtime in order to pursue the Bridge of Books mission. This young man has an amazing future ahead of him, and I cannot wait to see all the outstanding things he will do in his junior and senior years. For all of these reasons and more, Ravi Arya is my choice for the 2018 Greyhound Choice Award. And the next presenter is Miss Caitlin Mallory.
My Greyhound Choice Award goes to Tara Cooper. What impressed me most about this student is her passion for working with preschool students at her part-time job. She would share a story with me about how she helped one of her own students and how excited the kids would get to see her each day when she went to work. As an educator, I know this intrinsic feeling of satisfaction all too well. The more and more we would share stories, the student began to feel more comfortable coming to me when she was feeling stressed or overwhelmed at times with schoolwork. It was then we discovered that we both share a passion for motivational quotes and sayings. We both read them and revisit them as needed to stay focused and motivated, no matter what type of struggles we might be facing in life. What the student probably doesn't realize is that I look forward to her visits to my office the same way her kids do at her job. She possesses an ability to brighten a room and make anyone feel special just because we know how much she truly cares about others. My Greyhound choice is Tara Cooper. The next presenter is Ms. Kim Lennar.
My Greyhound Choice Award goes to Patrick Nvenko and Andy Nava. It is truly special when a student makes a positive impression on you. Patrick and Andy have done just that. They come to class every day with a smile and how are you doing? Their work ethic is impeccable, their willingness to learn contagious. They are both caring, considerate, and polite young men. As a teacher, I am blessed to have such wonderful students in my class. I know they will have a successful future.
I've done that before. My name's Steve Malcolm. My Greyhound Choice Award goes to Mr. Evan Gill. There he is, not a nicer person in our school. The trait that I most admire and respect about Evan is his resiliency. He has loads of it. How a person reacts to adversity speaks volumes about their character. Come on over, buddy. I love working with kids like Evan. He doesn't understand. He doubles his efforts. He fails a test. He works harder. He's having a bad day already, still smiling, even though it's time for more algebra. He makes a silly mistake. He laughs it off. I admire and respect you, Evan, and simply want you to know how privileged I am to have had the opportunity to get to know you this year. Thanks for bringing your smile into my class every day. I'd like to finish with a simple Japanese proverb that sums up Evan Gill. Fall 7 times, stand up 8. Congratulations. The next presenter is Captain Sean Hoggs.
Without the uniform this time, right? All right. My Greyhound Choice Award goes to Imani Harms. When the year first started, this young lady was somewhat of an introvert. However, as the year unfolded, I would find out that Imani was anything but shy. The reason why I've chosen her as my Greyhound Award nominee is quite simple. She always greets me with a smile. She's always ready to learn once we can get her phone situated. And she brings energy to the classroom. Lastly, and as a first-year junior ROTC program, Imani has served as the mistress of ceremony for 2 of our hallmark events, the Joint Military Ball and our JROTC National Awards program, to which she did a phenomenal job. It is never easy to stand in front of your peers and speak, and she did so with grace and elegance. In short, Imani and her infectious smile, coupled with her warm personality, was critical in ensuring that our unit had a successful inaugural year. The next presenter is Ms. Joyce Sarda.
Is it? Yeah. I have 2 Greyhound Choice Awards, and I'm going to call them up individually. My first Greyhound Choice goes to Emily Song. I'm going to borrow from David Letterman a little bit. My top 10 reasons why I love Emily Song. She has a great name that can be used metaphorically when I want to be corny. I actually considered beginning this speech, "Let me sing you a song of Emily," but I didn't. She always greets me with a smile and leaves me with a "have a nice day." She laughs at my stupid jokes. She gets excited about the little things, like even a simple scented eraser I gave her when she was having a bad day. She often giggles for no apparent reason. Her willingness to be goofy makes me nostalgic for my teenage years. She's a loyal and nurturing friend I have seen, and I am told. Number 8, that nurturing carries through to her family, to her teachers, to her country, and to our world. Number 9, she's a deep thinker. I always look forward to reading her written responses to questions or to her annotations regarding a piece of literature, because I know there's going to be some little pearl for me to take away. Finally, for the brevity of this speech, because I could go on, she is one of the most sensitive and empathetic students I've ever had. I noticed this most recently when I was wrapping up a Day of Kindness activity. After the class had anonymously shared the struggles that they carried with them every day, I looked over and saw that Emily was moved to tears by her classmates' experiences. Emily is simply a beautiful human being, the music to my ears.
My second Greyhound Choice Award goes to Nicolette Kelly Wilson. I'll be honest, when I sat down to write this speech, I was really intimidated by this task. How were my meager words going to be enough to do justice to this young woman I was attempting to honor? But the deadline was here, and I knew McKay was going to come and get me, so I just had to get down to do it. There are many things I enjoy and have come to admire about Nick this year. First, she struck me immediately as a very friendly and open individual. In fact, she received my first smart cookie for her class for being the first to make me smile. Secondly, she's a voracious reader, devouring an armload of books, and I'm not kidding, in a single week. And what an English teacher wouldn't enjoy that? And to keep this speech short, again, I'm trying to bring it down with such great kids. She writes beautiful prose about important things. And it's through her writing that I can show you just how special Nick is. In a personal narrative assignment that was to be titled How It Feels to Be Blank Me, the blank to be filled in with a self-defining adjective, Nick titled hers How It Feels to Be Mini Mother Me. Her story of a very difficult early childhood begins with these words. I'm the only person I know that was the mother of 5 children by the time she was 11. When I read this, I was heartbroken. What child should have to become the surrogate parents for her siblings? How could I read on? But I had to. I needed to know the rest. I am so thankful I did, because what emerged was a beautiful story of hope from a girl much older than her 16 years would suggest. An introspective and incredibly strong soul who doesn't speak of her sibling children as a burden, but rather her greatest joy, who, despite being exposed to the real ugliness life can be, has decided she can and will thrive. The conclusion she wrote to her story, this revelation: I am a tree with shallow roots and scrawny branches, a small tree that looks like it wouldn't be able to hold up its own weight, a crooked and bent tree that no one would admire. But inside this flawed and broken tree lives an ecosystem of birds and squirrels, and it bears sweet fruit that is picked and devoured eagerly by those who need it. I am awed and humbled by you, Nick. The next presenter is Casey Haverstick.
My Greyhound Choice Award goes to Chelsea Messer. Chelsea is one of the strongest people I have ever met. She has had many obstacles over this past year and still manages to walk through the door with a smile on her face. Chelsea never complains about anything and is grateful for every opportunity she is given. She is willing to help anyone around her and is one of the most selfless people I have come across. I am thankful to have had Chelsea in my first year of teaching. She has taught me there is so much more in the classroom than just teaching your subject matter. I look forward to seeing all the success she has in the future. The next presenter is Miss Brianna Butters.
Good evening. For those of you who don't know who I am, my name is Brianna Butters. I'm a second-year history teacher here at Northern. And coming into my second year, I can honestly say that I was very nervous. But a few weeks after the first month, a student wrote me a letter that instantly put me at ease. The student explained that she wanted to acknowledge my hard work and was grateful for the time and effort I put into teaching her and her classmates daily. Tonight I would like to publicly express how much I appreciate this very mature young lady and would like to repay the gratitude that she once gave me. My Greyhound Choice Award goes to Anna Thomas. Anna Thomas has been one of the best surprises of my second year teaching here at Northern. She undoubtedly holds all of the qualities of an outstanding young lady. She is mature, honest, understanding, dependable, and trustworthy. Anna, I want you to know that I greatly admire your tenacious and determined spirit, and I feel so blessed to have gotten to know you better this year. I'm going to hold all the moments we've had together dear to my heart, including all the times we've read each other's minds, and all the times that we've needed to vent to each other before class even started. I wish I had the confidence, honesty, and spunk that you have when I was your age. I see nothing but amazing things for you, and I'm confident that you would expect nothing but the best for yourself. I look forward to seeing you grow into a successful young woman in the years to come, and I hope that you don't forget about me in this little school after you've moved on to bigger and better things. Just as you've thanked me before, I would like to extend my thanks to you, because having students like you makes teaching worthwhile. The next presenter is Miss Amy Stella.
My Greyhound Choice Award goes to Nick Wiley. My first correspondence with Nick was via email. It was December 2016, and he inquired if the Air Force JROTC program would be starting for the next school year. He shared that he thought that interest in the program would be high and was concerned that spots would be limited. He expressed how serious he was about the program because of his interest in a career in the Air Force. Since that email exchange, I've enjoyed getting to know Nick. In the months that followed, whenever our paths crossed, I would share updates about where we were in the planning process, such as how we're hiring the instructors or setting up the classroom. He was always excited to hear updates, and I was always proud to share them. Throughout this year, I've observed Nick find his niche in the program, embrace the core values, and wear his uniform proudly. This program has made a difference in his life, and I look forward to seeing him continue to evolve as a young man and contribute to our first few years. The next presenter is Mrs. Nancy Hope.
I have 2 Greyhound Choice Awards. My first one goes to Brielle Black. As a new administrator, I came to know my Greyhound Choice nominee for reasons I will not disclose. Through our meetings, interactions, and conversations, I discovered a wonderful young woman who needed a little self-confidence. It became my goal for her to see what I saw in her, a hardworking, smart, empathetic young woman who could overcome any obstacle and problem she faced. She just needed to believe in herself. Over the next 8 months, I committed to meeting with the student weekly to just chat. It was through these chats that she would learn to believe in her abilities and to become the student teachers enjoyed having in class. It is with great pleasure to announce my Greyhound Choice recipient, Brielle Black. Thank you for always making me smile and for our chat. My next Greyhound Choice Award goes to Xavier Dukes. It is an honor to be here tonight to speak on behalf of my Greyhound Choice nominee. This student has the biggest heart, however, is often misunderstood. He cares about those who are close to him and has a willingness to help others in need. It is with joy that I announce my Greyhound Choice recipient, Xavier Dukes. Thank you for Karen and for all the artwork in my office. The next presenter is Jacqueline Marshall.
Okay, my Greyhound Choice goes to two awesome military students, Danielle Eastman and Grace Thompson Edwards. They come as a package deal, and I know I could not select one without the other. You always see them together since they bonded back in September as new military students. Both were loyal, contributing, and fun members of our military peer support group, whose purpose is to help new military transfer students meet and support other new transfers and acclimate to NBC. Danielle and Grace always offered a positive and friendly atmosphere to our group, and I can say that this year's group was our most cohesive ever. Both of these fine young ladies also played vital roles in orchestrating our 6th annual Military Student Appreciation Breakfast in April. Danielle was our art consultant for all aspects of planning for the April month of the military child, from designing our t-shirts and creating our bulletin board, and serving as stage manager for the program. Whenever I needed help with just about anything, Danielle was there. And with that being said, Grace was always attached to Danielle's hip, and likewise was always there, even if I had not sent her a pass. Grace's willingness to help and her outgoing personality added humor to our weekly meetings. She had the perfect personality for acting as our MC during our Military Student Appreciation Breakfast, and was a natural for the job. Her bubbly personality was infectious and added levity to both our meetings and our breakfast. It gives me great pleasure to nominate both my Greyhound Choices. I am in awe of their resiliency, their flexibility, and positive attitude. They never hesitated to step up to the plate and were great role models to all the other military students. Our theme this year was the roller coaster ride of the military child, addressing the ups and downs that face the military children. I am sure Danielle and Grace are stronger and more prepared for life as a result of the roller coaster life experiences of being a military kid. So thank you with that. Thank you so much. The next presenter is Mr. Colin Hugo.
I am pleased to nominate Tiana Hall for the Greyhound Choice Award. I've known Tiana since she was a member of my world history class as a freshman, and I've had the pleasure to coach her in basketball for the past 3 seasons. During this time, I've come to appreciate her many fine qualities as I've watched her grow as a student, player, and person. Tiana's worked diligently to maintain a high academic standing in her class. She always emits a sense of hard work and a love of learning. Her willingness to participate in class, practices, and games, and her amiable demeanor always helped to brighten my day. Tiana's maturity, focus, and good manners are all skills that make her a good leader in the classroom. And on the basketball court, she's been one of the most coachable players I've had over the past 3 seasons. She's constantly worked to improve her game, and she's always willing to sacrifice for the team. Her coachability's really helped her as she went from never playing before high school to earning a varsity letter this past season. She's also a very talented lacrosse player where she helps anchor the attack for the Hounds. But more importantly than being a good athlete, she's an outstanding individual. She might not know it, but she's definitely looked upon for her leadership. She has a unique understanding of the value of speaking her mind. Having Tiana has always helped me as a coach and teacher, and has also helped our team because she's not afraid to ask questions. So when I'm coaching the team or teaching, it always helps me to gauge if I'm doing an effective job because Tiana lets me know if I'm causing any confusion. Going hand in hand with being a self-advocate, she's always shown the ability to bounce back from adversity. She's always willing to put in extra time to improve on weaknesses. She realizes that success can be obtained through hard work and approaching each task with a positive attitude, and I'm certain she'll continue to have success in the future. Next presenter is Miss Kate Lasko.
My Greyhound Choice Award goes to Alexander Haynes and Jamel Lane. An English teacher would normally cringe at the thought of uttering a cliche, but my Greyhound choices leave me no choice. On any given day, these two can push the envelope, get on my last nerve, be the straw that breaks the camel's back. But as talented as they are at getting my goat, Jamel Lane and Alex Haynes are as equally gifted at making me smile. Most days on my way to class, I hear them cracking wise or chatting up the ladies before I even see them, and my smile begins. Most days, one or both are waiting at the door before class starts with some absurd request, Alex, or some slick move, Jamel, and my smile grows. Most days, despite their shenanigans, both know when it's time to settle in and get to work. I know that English is not their favorite subject. So while they are both responsible for some of my gray hairs, their humor, respect, and kindness have also nurtured some of my laugh lines. Thank you, gentlemen.
My Greyhound Choice Award goes to Alexis Hudson. Alexis is the type of student whose visits brighten your day, and while she has never actually been a student in one of my classes, she has managed to brighten so many of my days since her freshman year. This year I had the pleasure of coaching Alexis during fall cheerleading season. As a newcomer to the squad, she had her work cut out for her, as there were many routines to be learned. Alexis accomplished this with both dedication and determination. During our preseason practices and camp, she was one of the hardest working athletes that I have witnessed during my coaching career. Her diligence extends to the classroom as well as many other extracurricular activities. She's an extraordinary writer, an avid reporter for the school newspaper, and the vice president of the FFA. Over the past few years, I have watched Alexis display unwavering strength and perseverance, no matter how tough the road ahead may have seemed. I am happy to have this opportunity to acknowledge and celebrate all that she has achieved and wish her nothing but success for the future. The next presenter is Ms. Heather Duff.
I've known of my Greyhound Choice recipient since the end of her freshman year when I heard her voice on the lacrosse field. I couldn't figure out where the loud voice was coming from, but it was the loudest, most encouraging voice I had ever heard at a sporting event. That voice belongs to Aida Ingram. Since that time, I have witnessed her enthusiasm and encouragement both in the classroom and on the athletic fields. She is somewhat of a local legend in the world of high school field hockey, lacrosse, and basketball. All three of my daughters have been lucky enough to play against Aida during their high school careers. The parents on our teams are always so fascinated by what Aida will say next that they lose track of what is going on in the game. She leaves a very positive and memorable impression on all that she encounters. Every morning, Aida stops by my room and we quickly recap the games from the day before, hers and my daughter's games. She always wants to know how my kids did as well. In the classroom, I can always count on her to use her leadership skills to take charge, encourage others, and help me keep my sanity. Sadly, Aida has finished the courses I teach, but I look forward to watching her one more year on the athletic fields. The next presenter is Mr. Tyler McGinnis.
Although I go by Tyler, my first name is actually William, and I nominated another William. His name is Billy Irwin. Billy and I share more in common than just a first name. We both love the sciences, and also we are the new kids in the classroom. From my first day with Mr. Grader, this student impressed me with his enthusiasm, curiosity, and his creativity. Often he would ask me questions that would make me think about a class that I was convinced I would never have to use ever again in my life. This student comes into my class every day and draws a picture, teaches a mini lesson, or asks me, "What are we going to learn about today, Mr. McGinnis?" Which is reassuring to hear as a teacher, and I'm glad he's so excited about these classes. Sometimes engineering can be a dry subject. Believe me, I've taken enough of the courses to know. After I've usually lost most of the other students through sheer boredom, he's still willing to participate in my lessons. Although he is a strong student on his own, he is also a strong leader. His classmates would describe him as a friend to us all. Billy brightens the room with his humorous personality and his willingness to help with his classmates. Billy makes my period 12-13 engineering class better every day. Billy possesses great communication and explanatory skills, which will take him far in my engineering course, but it will take him further in his future aspirations. He has made a meaningful impact on my early teaching career, and I hope I have made a similar impact on him. Thank you, Billy. Our next presenter is Dr. Shu.
Good evening. My Greyhound Choice Award goes to Ms. Jasmine Jackson. Jasmine is my student in Period 1 and 2 physics class. Imagine this. Every school day at 7:20 a.m., early in the morning, a room full of 17 years old trying to stay engaged to learn motion, force, Doppler, and watts. I'm lucky if I can keep them awake and or keep their undivided attention for just a few seconds. Therefore, I'm grateful that I have this wonderful student named Jasmine in my class, who always, or almost always, hops in my classroom cheerfully, humming songs every single day. That set an upbeat tone for the class, which make my teaching so much easier. In addition to her sunny personality, she takes her physics class very seriously. She asks questions, leads discussions, does problem sets, works with others in her lab group. She's just a very valuable member of the class. She sets a good Greyhound example for the rest of our Northern students. Way to go, Jasmine. The next presenter is Ms. Jill Stipville.
Good evening. My Greyhound Choice Award goes to Jessica Peter. I've known Jess for 3 years. As a freshman, she was in my Honors Algebra 2 class. As a sophomore, she was in my Honors Pre-Calc class. This year, as a junior, I only had her for a semester in my STEM math class. But since that class ended, she's been coming to one of my Pre-Calc classes 4 days a week when she doesn't have lab. This is where I should say something sarcastic like I just can't seem to get rid of her. But honestly, I really don't want to. I truly look forward to seeing her every day. When I first got to know her, Jess would ask me questions about engineering, what engineering was all about, and what to expect in an engineering career. For those who don't know, I was an engineer in a previous life. We always had plenty to talk about. I think she's still heading in that direction, but now our conversations are more about AP classes and life. We still have plenty to talk about. Over the past 3 years, I've seen Jess happy, goofy, sad, angry, frustrated, and feeling just about every other emotion one can experience. But regardless of her mood, she always puts a smile on my face when I see her, because in spite of whatever's going on, she almost always has a smile on her face. She's also taken to decorating my room with her original art. She's funny, supportive, and compassionate, traits that are evident by the great group of friends she has. Even when she's not around, her friends often mention her, and always in glowing terms. Jess is an amazing young woman with a wonderful future ahead. I'm not sure what I'm going to do next year when I don't get to see her every day, but if I have the good fortune to have her as a silk, I won't have to find out. Jess, always keep your drive, your determination, and that smile. It's infectious. The next presenter is Miss Mary Beth Jarvis.
My Greyhound Choice Award goes to Abigail Quinn. I remember the day I met Abby. From the first moment, I could tell that there was something special about her. When she enters the classroom, she's like a ray of sunshine. She brightens the room and shares her vibrant personality with everyone. She is kind and caring towards the other students in the class. If someone needs help, she lends a hand. If someone is upset, she tries to build them up and make them feel better. The most wonderful thing about her is that she doesn't even realize that she does it. It just comes naturally to her. She is one of the most thoughtful students I have ever had the pleasure of teaching. She is a strong, intelligent, beautiful young lady, and I am reminded daily by her small acts of kindness that I am lucky to be her teacher this year. The next presenter is Ms. Caitlin Mallory.
My Greyhound Choice Award goes to Shamir Fasan. Brought a cheering crowd with him, I see. What impressed me most about this student initially was his ability to advocate for himself and take accountability for his own personal and academic success. Due to circumstances beyond his control, he was absent more than usual and missed some of his coursework in quarter 3. With such a rigorous schedule consisting of AP, honors, and advanced courses, we had to get creative to ensure he was able to catch up with his assignments. Failing or falling behind academically was never an option for this student. With the assistance of administration, his counselor, and his teachers, he worked for 2 days straight to catch up on many of his assignments. In addition to his challenging course schedule, he also maintains a part-time job at Great Adventure. His dedication to overcoming adversity and exceptional conscientious decision-making is what makes Shamir Vasan an easy Greyhound choice. The next presenter is Miss Lauren Connor.
My Greyhound Choice Award goes to Liam Watson. I first met Liam when he was an excited 8th grader at the middle school. Liam was thrilled about creating his high school course selection, and I was immediately drawn to his wonderful personality and character.
Not only is Liam very respectful, he's kind, compassionate, hardworking, and has such a contagious smile. I wish you, Liam Watson, the very best and much success in all of your future endeavors. Congratulations. And then the next presenter is Mr. Robert Craig.
Hey everybody, I want to say what a great night this is, just one of my favorite nights of the entire school year. I want to thank Mr. Newman and Mrs. McKay for all their hard work. They tracked down all the teachers to make this happen. My Greyhound Choice Award goes to James White. In a challenging class like physics, I beg students to take risks, learn from their mistakes, and then revise their understanding. James has been the epitome of this idealized approach to education. He is never afraid to think out loud, start the discussion about what might be happening in a physics phenomenon, while others are simply too scared to fail. Because of his fearless approach to the subject, James grew the most of all of my students this school year. He's a better student for it, and I have no doubt he will go on to succeed in any subject where he applies this approach. The next presenter is Ms. Katie Bush.
My Greyhound Choice Award goes to Emily Aronson. I met Emily at the beginning of her sophomore year when she was a student in my English 2 class. Emily appeared to be a very quiet and shy student, but I quickly learned that this was not the case. Students seemed to have a keen ability for finding teachers during their prep period, especially when they were trying to hide in order to get work done. Emily not only had this ability, she also had a study hall during the same prep period that Mrs. Sampson and I had our prep. A few visits a week soon turned into daily visits, and one visiting student turned into 6 once a few other students in Emily's study hall caught on. Mrs. Sampson and I began to refer to this as our group of unofficial study hall squad students, and it became a part of our day that we both looked forward to. Our study hall squad eventually became a fond memory, though, in the years to follow, as most students went their separate ways. Some moved, others graduated, but Emily continued her daily visits with each passing year. She's assisted me with more tasks and creative projects than I can even count. Whether it was helping with the school newspaper or assembling spirit items for the homecoming carnival, she was always willing to lend a hand, and I appreciated her creative perspective and company. She is kind-hearted and wise beyond her years. As the end of her high school career approaches, it is hard to imagine what Northern will be like without her. She will be greatly missed. I have no doubt that she will continue to help others along the path to achieving her dreams, and I would like to wish her the best as she embarks on her next chapter in life. I would like to now call up Miss Amanda Whitehead.
Our Greyhound Choice Award goes to Keegan Tyndall. Someday, this student will be among the ranks of Scorsese, Spielberg, Kubrick. Someday, Tyndall will be among those names, and we'll be able to say, not that long ago, he was one of our students. Keegan Tyndall is a dynamo of creativity. His skills combined with his confidence often produce work reflective of someone with much more experience.
It has truly been our pleasure to teach Keegan Tyndall this year, and for those reasons and more, he is our Greyhound's choice. In addition to his creativity, his comical nature was evident in his class projects and humorous personality. He has always managed to keep us laughing throughout the year, especially with his musical stylings. For an assignment on one of our class novels, a science fiction story about human clones, Keegan decided to write his very own original country song titled, "I Ain't a Clone." He also filmed and produced a music video of the song where he performed as the lead vocalist. The entire production was certainly unique, to say the least. Keegan, Miss Whitehead, and I agree, you are definitely not a clone. There could never be another student like you. Good luck on all your future endeavors, and remember us when you make your claim to fame one day.
All right, so I'm going to stay up here. My second Greyhound Choice Award goes to Miss Natalie Ansel. Strength and resilience come in many forms. I was pleasantly surprised to see such strength and resilience in this young lady. Natalie is truly one of a kind. She is smart, funny, kind, and above all, courageous. She is a constant reminder of all the positivity that this world has to offer, and I feel I've gained so much from having met her. Natalie is a wonderful person who deserves everything and more. I can't wait to see her continue to grow and blossom and eventually transfer all these qualities into being a teacher. Natalie is not only my student, but she's also my friend, and an obvious choice as my Greyhound Choice for this year. The next presenter is Dr. Sally Lopez.
Good evening. My Greyhound Choice Award goes to Amna Ahmed. Amna impressed me greatly this year with her leadership skills. She assisted with the referendum initiative by providing informative tours and speaking to community members about our needs. Her maturity and ability to speak comfortably with adults sets her apart from many high school students. Amna is one of my go-to students. When I need to get the pulse of the student body, I make sure to touch base with her. I'm also pleased that she's comfortable coming to see me directly with any questions or concerns. I'm confident that we will be hearing about this young lady in the future as a leader and that she will positively impact our society in the future. Thank you, Amna, for everything this year. And the next presenter is Miss Nancy Hope.
My last Greyhound Choice Award goes to Josh Berganza. I am honored tonight to speak on behalf of my Greyhound Choice Award nominee, Josh Berganza. Josh's smile makes others smile. Josh stops by the main office every day to say good morning and to check to make sure that everyone is okay. Thank you, Josh, for caring about others. The next presenter is Stan Blackburn.
Hello again, everybody. My Greyhound Choice Award goes to Callie Calasino. Hey, Callie. A few years ago, I was blessed to have Callie in my English 1 honors class. She was a devoted, kind student who always did her best, an ideal role model for others. When Callie volunteered to be my silk with my period 7-8 English 1 honors class this year, I was ecstatic. I knew this was going to be a rewarding experience, both for my students and for me. Throughout the year, Callie has been my right hand. She has helped me prep, grade, create with an efficiency that I could never do on my own. Each day, Callie has met me at the door, continues to meet me at the door, with a positive attitude, smile on her face, and an amazing work ethic. She never fails to ask if there's something that she can do for me or for our kids. Callie, you've done so much for our students and me, and there's no sufficient way that I can really thank you, but I'll give it a try. You've inspired me to strive for excellence, And for that, I am so thankful. I wish you the best, Callie, at TCNJ and in your promising future as an English teacher. Your future students will be lucky to have you. The next presenter is Mr. Michael Hishak.
My Greyhound Choice Award goes to Madison Comiskey and Dalton Hutchinson. I'm not planning on having children anytime soon. If I ever did decide to raise a child, I'd be so lucky if they grew up to be half of what Dalton and Maddie have grown to be, awesome young people. Dalton, we've shared a volleyball court for 4 years, a physics classroom for 2 years, and a friendship that will hopefully last a lifetime. I've seen you mature from a lanky and unassuming freshman into a confident young man who is up for any and all challenges I throw your way. Your work ethic is tenacious, and I'm so incredibly proud to call myself your coach, teacher, and friend. Maddie, I thoroughly enjoyed our time together these past 2 school years. From challenging physics exams to painting homes with Habitat for Humanity, you've always kept a constant positive attitude through it all. Your ability to maintain your high grades and find time to do community service and your jam-packed schedule of extracurricular activities is truly admirable and will serve you well in college and beyond. To both of you, I want to personally thank both of you for taking my classes these past few years. I'm not sure how many more years I will teach, but I can honestly say that working with students like the 2 of you every day is what keeps me coming back every year. Maddie and Dalton, I hope you will discover nothing but positive energy in the future. Remember, kinetic energy can never be negative, so make sure to keep moving in life. I can't wait to hear... Sorry, I guess I should have closed with that. I can't wait to hear about your future endeavors and adventures. My door, my heart, and my mind are always open. The next presenter is Mr. Jeff Newman for Miss Tara Corcoran.
Ms. Corcoran is on maternity leave, but I am very proud to give this award to someone who I had as a student formerly and love him dearly. Ms. Corcoran's words are, her Greyhound Choice Award goes to Richard Connor. Ms. Corcoran writes, I have been fortunate enough to have been Richard's guidance counselor for the past 4 years. I've watched him grow from a quiet and timid 9th grader, quiet and timid, he wasn't when I had him as a sophomore, into a young man who sets the bar high for himself and exceeds all expectations with a smile on his face. Richard has a charismatic personality, which has made being his counselor such a joy these past 4 years. Old Dominion University will be lucky to have you among their students. I wish you much success and happiness. The next presenter is Mr. Ed Del Russo.
When I think of my Greyhound Choice nominee, I think of the hardships that she has overcome, the struggles she deals with on a nearly daily basis, and most importantly, how she has shown the strength to overcome all of this in coping with her job at Acme. My Greyhound Choice Award winner goes to Natalie Cook. I first met Natalie 2 years ago when her friend forced her to join the bowling team. It wasn't long before I entered the world of Natalie Cook. Knowing Natalie is an adventure that never ends. It can be confusing as you try to piece together the meaning of her life's events, but always enjoyable. For those who know her, she is a unique person that is always pleasant and guaranteed to make you smile. At bowling, we would often find ourselves laughing hysterically at utter nonsense, such as our plan to improve her score with a bionic arm, a la Steve Austin, the $6 Million Man. I want to thank Natalie for making the last 2 years so much fun, and I wish her all the best, and I do hope to see her someday again at Taco Bell. The next presenter is Miss Michelle Basmaji.
My Greyhound Choice Award goes to Nick De Laurentiis. 7 years ago, I met Nick. He was all smiles as he extended his hand out to shake mine and introduced himself as Sheriff Danger. He came into the high school as if he owned the place. Over the past 7 years, I have watched Nick grow and mature, despite any and every new challenge that he has faced along the way. This June, Nick will be leaving Northern Burlington and embarking on a new adventure into adulthood. I know I'm not alone when I say that Nick will truly be missed for a long list of reasons that I don't even have time for, so I shortened it, but his joyful singing as he walks through the halls and into the classroom, his contagious smiles and laughter, and his sense of humor, and his fruit roll-ups, which he will share with me tomorrow. Nick has worked extremely hard to gain new skills that will prepare him for work as he transitions from school to adulthood. One of the most remarkable accomplishments at Northern has been his contribution as a volunteer at the Masonic Village. Nick just earned an award for his work there. He's gone off campus to practice work at the Masonic Village since 2013-14 school year, when I had the honor of being his job coach. Nick truly brings sunshine to all of the residents and staff there with his friendly, positive, and hospitable personality. Nick is responsible for sorting and delivering laundered clothing to residents and hanging them in their closets. But Nick takes it a step further, always, by putting a smile on people's faces with his natural charm and charisma. He prides himself on making the residents' day a little happier by taking the time to strike up a conversation, just as he does in the classroom. It is my honor to have Nick as a student, now as his teacher, and he's definitely been a true blessing in my life. His passion for music and changing the world by spreading positive thoughts are a true gift. Nick's growth and progress through the years has been amazing. They're bowling up there, Nick. And inspirational to all who know and love him. Congratulations, Nick. Keep following your dreams. The next presenter is Alyssa Rial.
My Greyhound Choice Award goes to Deanna D'Imperio. I first met Deanna 2 years ago when she was just a sophomore in my Algebra 2 class. She was the type of student that any teacher loves to have. She always paid attention, participated, and earned an A on everything. She passed that class with 100 for the year. Last year, when Deanna was a junior, she came into my class and asked if she could be my silk. I said yes without hesitation and was so excited to be awarded with a silk who not only is strong in math, but is very comfortable with teaching and helping the other students in Algebra 2. Now we are in Deanna's senior year, and she has proved to be exactly what I expected, a leader. She helps me and the students of last period every day, whether it's assisting with checking answers during a marker board practice or simply just taking attendance and checking homework when I'm too busy with other things. Deanna, these past 3 years I have seen you grow to become a very mature and responsible adult. You have shown that you are capable of doing anything that you wish to do and can be a leader in everything. It has been a pleasure to teach you in math, coach you in soccer, and work beside you as a fellow teacher in the classroom. From the students from period 16, 17, and myself, we would like to thank you and wish you good luck in all that you do.
The next presenter is Mrs. Sandy Cullen.
Good evening. My Greyhound Choice Award goes to Elena Harris. I have known Elena for the last 3 years, and she's probably surprised because I don't even have her this year. I've taught her in geometry and algebra too, and just sometimes I get the chance to see her when we're passing in the hall or in a classroom. She is one of the biggest hearts I know. For the last 3 years, I have always seen her with a smile on her face. It is contagious, and immediately one comes to my face. We have discussed many things over the years, and the biggest one would be baking. Not math, but baking. She loves to bake, and I love to eat. She is always bringing in treats for me to try. It is not uncommon to find origami creatures left on my desk by her. She has a tremendous work ethic and is going to accomplish great things in her future. I wish her the best of luck in all she does, and I look forward to keeping in touch with her. Congratulations, Elena. The next presenters are Mrs. Mary Watterson and Miss Connie Bunce.
Hi, good evening. Our Greyhound Choice Award goes to Stephen Henry. Our Greyhound Choice Award winner has been part of our days here at Northern Burlington for the past 3 years. It all started when he was a sophomore in our physical science class. Every day he was one of the first to come to class with a smile and a happy greeting. As we got to know him, we realized that this positive attitude was a choice, and that at home he had more responsibilities than most kids his age. Although I'm not sure he saw them as responsibilities. As he told us many times, you're always there for your family.
Since the end of physical science, he has made a point of checking in every day, always asking how we are, and even offering hugs if he thinks we need one. During these quick visits, he usually tells us something positive about his day, and he grabs a piece from our stash of gum. He arguably has the best smelling breath at Northern. We are definitely going to miss his daily visits and contagious smile, but we anticipate that we will see him again, and Stephen, the gum will be stocked. Our Greyhound Choice Award is Stephen Henry. The next presenter is Mr. Jeff Newman.
As the co-advisor of Renaissance, I get to pick again. All right, so I have 2 more people I'm giving Greyhound Awards to. They are 2 of my favorite seniors. They are Connor Hogan and Asama Khan. I'll start with Connor. Connor has been my student for the past 2 years in honors pre-calculus and now in AP calculus. I often tell him that he's a pest, well, because he is, but basically because he visits me 20, 30 times a day. And I realize he's just coming into my room to get food or to draw on my board or something like that, but he makes me believe that he cares about me and he actually wants to see me. But he definitely brightens my day as well. Connor is the kind of student who's loved by all, and I know that he's going to go very far in life. Then there's Asama. I've known Asama for 3 years. First as a student in honors pre-calculus, then as a member of the National Honor Society, and now he is my silk or senior assistant. And I love just saying his name, Asama Khan. Sounds like a transformer. Asama Khan. I love Asama as my silk because I can blame everything on him. Whenever anything goes wrong or there's a typo, it's Asama's fault. And he accepts the blame. So I like that. But he's the kind of student and person who is respected by everyone. His personality is supportive and caring, and his intellect is undeniable. Asama has been a far greater help to me this year than he will ever know. Both of these gentlemen have been a special part of my career for several years, and I couldn't let them graduate without letting them know how thankful I am for their time and dedication. The next presenter is Ms. Andre Mastrena.
My Greyhound Choice Award goes to Stephanie Minnock, Allison Ricks, and Crystal Johnson. If you're on social media, you may recognize Steph from her selfies with Senator Cory Booker, Allison from her viral video of her on the floor after being accepted to college, and Crystal from her amazing dance videos that rack up hundreds of views. I'm so privileged to learn with them every day, and here are just a few reasons why. In addition to all the typical teenage pursuits, these three young women have spent their senior year accomplishing the following. Crystal, working side by side, assisting celebrity choreographers, traveling around the tri-state area and beyond for dance workshops, filming music videos in Brooklyn. Steph, serving as a state thespian officer, meeting with senators on Capitol Hill to advocate for the arts, and traveling to Maine to enter her dress into costuming competitions. Allison, writing and editing articles about social justice and politics for an online magazine, working hard to become a mock trial champion lawyer, and an all-around mentor for underclassmen on her team and in her classes. But that's not nearly all. Locally, here at Northern, they've made significant contributions to our school community through their participation in clubs like Interact, Thespian Society, and Blue and Gray Night. Their actions, though, don't stop there. After the tragedy at Stoneman Douglas in Parkland, Florida, they teamed up with their peers to collectively declare enough is enough. They organized the school walkout and demonstration on March 13th and the Learn for Our Lives event on April 20th. They registered themselves to vote, and they registered their classmates as well. They're ready to be the change. They believe in equality and justice, and they give me hope. Throughout the past 3 years, I've had the privilege of eating lunch with these young women every day, and our lunchtime conversations cover a range of modern hot topics, especially feminism, but we can get really silly too, and recently our shenanigans have involved raising a family of inanimate objects together in my classroom, like a plant, a giraffe, a baby chick, and an egg. These family members all have names, but we don't have time to get into them right now. But this all changes next month. They'll be living the city life soon. Crystal in New York City, and Allison and Steph in Philadelphia. Crystal will be majoring in dance, minoring in justice studies at Marymount Manhattan College. Steph will be studying fashion design at Drexel University, and Allison will be exploring her vast options at the University of Pennsylvania. I will miss our lunch chats and those many other points throughout the day when you pop into the room for a break, a snack, or advice. Allison, Steph, and Crystal, when you graduate, you will be leaving behind a legacy, and you will leave behind me. And selfishly, I don't want you to go, but I will truly miss you. You've made me laugh countless times throughout the past few years, and you've made me want to be a better person. I absolutely cannot wait to see what you do with the many opportunities coming your way in college and beyond. Your new teachers and your new friends, they're going to be so lucky to meet you and get to know you. Thank you for all the memories, help with my classes, and for being so authentically you. Congratulations. The next presenter is Mr. Chris Cataline.
Good evening. My Greyhound Choice Award goes to Cassandra Lippincott and Ezra Jones. Picking a recipient is an awesome experience, and every year gets more and more difficult as I develop rapport with many of the students. I'm able to think of the students I interact with every day and select individuals who really make me smile, and that's been an overarching theme I've heard through many of the speeches given tonight. A smile, think about that for a second. A smile can tell you so much, no matter the time of day or time of year. Ezra and Cassie always give me a smile, even if it's only a slight grin. Hardworking, talented, and dedicated are the words that come to mind when I think of these two. I met Ezra and Cassie 3 years ago, and I know there was something special about them both, something that made me smile, something that said, keep an eye on them. Our conversations are usually brief, but yet again, another smile. Keeping updated on the day-to-day activities and the what's up or hey, Cataline. As Ezra and Cassie move on, I cannot wait to hear what the future has to hold. I'm proud to say these two have been making me smile for 3 years, and I'm excited to present Cassie and Ezra as my Greyhound recipients. The next presenter is Miss Megan Harrison.
My Greyhound Choice Award goes to Adriana Likes, which I'm sure is not a surprise. Adriana and I share a special relationship, one that would not only last throughout high school, but would extend beyond the walls of Northern Burlington as well. From babysitting my kids, and my 4-year-old can still twerk like a superstar, to working together in the summer, to those special texts like when you became an aunt, to even FaceTime to show me your prom dress. It all began 4 years ago when she was a little innocent, quiet, yes, quiet, freshman sitting in my English class. Since then, I have gotten to know Adriana very well, and we have an undeniable bond, an actual friendship. I can tell just by a look if something or someone is bothering her. I know just by a look when she's frustrated, having a bad day, needs to be left alone, or when she needs someone. Not just to help her through class, but to help her through life at that moment. For the past 16 years, I've had tons of students, and they all leave their imprint in some way. But the adoration I have for Adriana is unlike any other. There have been many good times and bad throughout your 12 years of school, and I'm grateful I was able to share at least 4 of them with you. Through all the stress and anxiety, good times and bad, laughter and tears, you did it, you made it, and I'm so proud of you. A while back, I gave Adriana the book, The Last Lecture by Randy Posh, which has kept me going and motivated during the worst of times. One part comes to mind. When you're messing up and people are on your case, it's because they care. When nobody says anything to you anymore, then you need to worry because it means they've given up on you. You may not like what I, your parents, or others in life tell you, but it's because we care and never gave up on you, even during those times when you tried giving up on yourself. Adriana, you're a smart, kind, funny, caring, and all-around great kid with a big heart, and I can't wait to see what the future holds for you. Please remember to believe in yourself and never give up. Have faith in your abilities, for without a humble but reasonable confidence in your own powers, you cannot be successful or happy. I love you. The next presenter is Mr. Dave Simpson.
The best student is the one that you never have to talk to. My Greyhound choice is Alyssa Mooney, a student I never have to talk to. The reason I never have to talk to Alyssa is because she instinctually does everything that she should be doing, and she never needs to be asked. I enjoyed having her in my U.S. History 2 class last year. She flung herself wholeheartedly into all of our activities. She was constantly encouraging her classmates to improve their work and participation. And I think that there were a couple of students who may owe their grades to Alyssa's prompting. She demonstrated an awareness and concern for others that I have rarely seen. This year, I have enjoyed not talking to her as she serves as my student instructional leader in my criminology class. From day one, she's taken control of the classroom. She's assumed her role as an assistant in the room, and I've never had to ask her to do anything. She just does it. Her impact in the room has been phenomenal, and I believe Alyssa will be a phenomenal educator if she decides to go that route, and based on the discussion we had today, sounds like that's what she's thinking. Finally, I must say that as much as I enjoy not needing to talk to Alyssa, I am rather fond of talking with her. She is caring, thoughtful, considerate, and she always tries to do the right thing. I am proud to have had the opportunity to teach her, and I wish her the best in her very bright future. Thank you. The next presenter is Miss Danielle Sampson.
My Greyhound Choice Award goes to Joel Pagan.
my first year teaching at Northern, I had a class that was a great challenge for me. This class had a lot of big personalities in it, and each one tested me in some way. One of these personalities stuck out in a very positive way, most days at least, and that was Joel. After the first few months of school, I began to better understand the way Joel worked, and he became one of my favorite and most helpful students. Throughout the last few years, I've gotten to know Joel pretty well, and I feel as if this is my opportunity to thank him for everything he has done for me. Once I received a touching note from him thanking me for believing in him even when he did not. Notes like this are heartwarming and help me to continually put my focus where it needs to be. Last year, I was reminded of Joel every day as I came into a new apple on my desk every morning. Again, these apples were more than a symbol of Joel's appreciation. They helped remind me to make a difference and maintain focus even on the days that I felt like giving up. Joel does not realize the influence he's had on my teaching career, but I owe a lot of my motivation to him. This year, I am truly lucky to have Joel as a student again. In my mind, his big heart now outshines his big personality in the classroom, and I'm thankful to have had the opportunity to foster the relationship we've created over the last few years. The next presenter is Mr. Zach Warren.
My Greyhound Choice Award goes to Marissa Pembleton. I met Marissa last year when she was in my environmental science class. As a student, she would always ask questions and share her personal stories and experiences. Through her sharing, she was able to express to me in the class her love for the sciences and gaining knowledge. Since leaving environmental, Marissa has continued to excel in her academics and has even volunteered her time to help me with other classes and labs. She has made all this possible through her persistence and hard work, through her motivation and her determination to be the best she can be no matter what the task at hand is. For this, I commend and wish her all the best in her future endeavors. The next presenters are Ms. Julia Kritchner and Ms. Christy Del Russo.
Our Greyhound Choice Award goes to Michaela Roche. As new advisors, we didn't know what to expect from our current officers. Fortunately for us, Michaela was our president for Student Council, and we couldn't be more thankful. From the very beginning, she exhibited prominent characteristics such as dependability, leadership, and drive. She is an extremely hardworking student with a clear vision for Student Council. Michaela took the lead in events such as the food drive, the toy drive, Christmas caroling, homecoming, NBC Craft Fair, and the Senior Citizens Dance. She was instrumental in all the success that Student Council has enjoyed all year. Her service and dedication has been invaluable. Michaela has always a positive attitude and works well with her peers. Whatever is in store for Michaela's future is sure to be a success. We wish her the best as sadly she leaves us and graduates. Thank you for all that you've done.
The next presenter is Kieran Rama Murphy.
Good evening. My Greyhound Choice Award goes to Erin Ruiz. When I walk into my period 7-8 classroom every day, I normally see Erin quietly reading some novel or another, minding her own business. From time to time, I like to barge in on her solitude and harass her with a series of questions about what she's reading. But also, I like to check in with how she feels about the novel we're currently reading in class, since she's usually ahead of where the rest of the students are. And as her English teacher through her writing, I feel like I've gotten to know her a bit more as well. In her college essay from way back in October, she wrote, "When I was young, I didn't know any English. It was hard to be able to understand it, and it took some time for me to be able to learn it. I had to grow up fast to be able to help my family. And I was like a bridge between them and anything related to translation." End quote. While she's had to deal with unique obstacles as an immigrant, she doesn't make a big deal about it, and she seems to handle the challenges gratefully. She's a cool kid. She's shy but funny, warm and hardworking. In her latest essay on finding happiness in life, the topic of our big senior research paper, she wrote, "In conclusion, happiness is something in your life that makes you feel alive, something that tells you that your life has meaning in this world. I plan on finding these components of happiness, and if there's an obstacle, then I'll fight until I get to my destination." Good luck, Erin. I want to wish you best on your journey. Congratulations on graduating with such strong grades, and I'll miss seeing you around this place.
Hi, I'm reading this speech for Mr. Dan Uzaki. Okay, my Greyhound Choice Award goes to Anthony Thomas. There are not enough words to describe my 2018 Greyhound Choice Award winner, Anthony Thomas. My position as Director of Athletics, that's Mr. Uzaki, takes me across a number of fields and courts. The coaches have special relationships with their players, and oftentimes I am merely the outsider looking in. Each year, there seems to be a handful of student athletes that generally enjoy seeing me at the games. They display character, passion, sportsmanship, and they embody what interscholastic sport should be about at this level. Anthony has done all of this and more. He continually displays integrity on the basketball court and off. I can't read this. He has served as the role of silent leader. Okay, I don't know Anthony to be silent. I'm sorry. He focused on team concepts and had a level of maturity that seemed to rise above the rest. I am proud to have been part of this young man's high school athletic career, and I look forward to seeing him spread his generosity and thirst for life with others down the road. Congratulations, Anthony. The next presenter is Ms. Jessica Volante.
Good evening. My Greyhound Choice Award goes to Erica Adams. Erica Adams is a student that deserves to be recognized not only for her kind manners, but also her willingness to learn and help others. Erica has demonstrated leadership qualities at NBC and in the community through the Career Orientation Program. Erica is dedicated to doing the best job she can do at her various work sites off campus and is always willing to help students and staff on campus. Erica has distinguished herself by continuing to self-advocate and take an active role in her education and development. Erica works hard in her classes, and even though she is only a sophomore, she puts in a lot of time exploring options for after high school. No matter what is going on with Erica, she always has a smile on her face, and it radiates to others around her. Erica is truly inspiring and motivates NBC to be the best we can be every day. Erica could not attend tonight, but I will be giving her award tomorrow. The next presenter is Mrs. Lauren Wadusky.
I picked 2 Greyhound choices this year, and my first one goes to Kayla Allshafer. Kayla, I don't even know where to begin. Getting to meet you as a sophomore in study hall and then teaching you math the next 2 years, it has truly been a joy. You are a model student, and on top of that, one of the most grounded, mature young ladies I know. Your work ethic, compassion, and ability to teach your peers is outstanding. Thank you for always being a smiling face in my room, a second teacher to my students, and my right-hand woman. I couldn't have done it without you. And then I'm not going to All right, my second Greyhound choice goes to Brianna Ward. I probably should have gave her this last year, but I'm here this year. So Brianna, you went from being a quiet student in my study hall who would sign up for the library every day to one of my most memorable students. I will never forget the lunches we spent together, the AP physics problems I attempted to help you solve, and to all the papers you helped me grade. Brianna, you're awesome and an amazing person. You have so much drive and ambition, and even though I never actually had you in class and got to be your teacher, I thank you for being one of my most memorable students, and I will always treasure you. Thank you. And the next presenter and last presenter, I think, is Rob Craig.
Hey, thanks for bearing with us to the end. Thank you for everybody that stayed. Certainly people have called up groups. I could have called these two up as, a duo of sorts, but, they're just such great individuals that I wanted them to be recognized separately. So my Greyhound Choice Award goes to Jonathan White. Jonathan is in the physics program as a senior because he wants to be, and not simply as a graduation requirement. Throughout this entire year, he has been a dedicated student that has never taken a shortcut, shirked responsibility, or sacrificed his integrity. To the contrary, I have never had a more dedicated senior, even as graduation looms just over a month away. In a class that he doesn't need to graduate, I've witnessed Jonathan stay after class to clarify concepts, assist other students that needed help, and go the extra mile on projects. He doesn't do it because he loves physics. He does it because he was raised to work hard, work to the best of his ability, and work until the job is completed. Whatever career Jonathan pursues, I have the utmost confidence that he will be successful because of his dedicated work ethic. Hey, and tonight, you hear, sometimes you hear how a teacher may have affected a student's life. But tonight you're hearing stories of how students affect our lives. And so my final award, and the last award of the night, goes to Kendra Zaleski. Kendra was my very first smart cookie of the year just because of, the clever things she always says. Anyway, Kendra has been a total joy to have in class, especially first thing in the morning. As a student in my period 1-2 AP Physics 1 course, Kendra has every reason to be cranky. It's early, tough coursework, annoying instructor, the list goes on. Yet every morning she comes in with a smile and a joke for not only me, but for also her classmates. Her infectious positivity has made each of my days at Northern an absolute pleasure. Thank you so much. And now, Mrs. Kathy McKay.
Okay, I'm impressed. So we honored 74 students tonight, and we did it in an hour and 45 minutes. My usual goal is an hour and a half, but that's usually because I have between 55 and 60 students, so I think we did pretty well tonight. Thank you all. Okay, so thank you for coming. Thank you to our students. You're the reason we come to work every day, although sometimes we may not seem like it, right? To our Greyhound Choice recipients, please save your medals. Wear them at graduation. Whether you're a freshman, a sophomore, a junior, or a senior, you may wear these medals at graduation. So make sure you save them so that you can show proudly when you graduate. Also, scrapbooks, or not scrapbooks, the speech booklets, they look like this. We have them over at the table. Mr. Newman and I will also be handing them out. Every speech that was read tonight is in this book. Okay, so please make sure you take one. Once again, thank you for coming out tonight. We really appreciate it, and drive safe.